In this video blog, I like to talk about the international plan. I mentioned previously that we have created a goal and a mission to significantly reduce the deaths from Alzheimer's worldwide in the next 5 years. So I'd like to talk just briefly about the international piece of this. Like, how do you actually reach the entire world? Like, what's the delivery system? Because as Jack Canfield said, I've mentioned a few times, is that one thing he liked about our program is scalable, meaning it can be ramped up. So I want to address a little bit about the scalable part on an international level. So the idea is, in conjunction and in partnership with the Upledger Institute, we have 57 affiliates around the world. So we have therapists that have been trained in the same craniosacral therapy techniques internationally. And those people can also be trained in what we're doing, as well as the native population, so to speak, and the laypersons. So when we look, interestingly enough, at aging populations around the world, some populations have more of a preponderance of aging populations than others. So, for example, here are the countries with the most aging population. One is Korea. Another is Japan. It's really felt by around 2024, 25 or so, that about 32% of the population will be 65 years or over. And I was just recently looking on social media and seeing there are entire cities that have been vacated as the younger people have moved to larger population centers. They're actually giving away property in some areas because they want to attract new and younger people to those areas. So that's an interesting dynamic in a place like Japan. Spain also, Italy, China, and all of those countries have more of a preponderance and a leverage of aging population. So in our 2-day programs for lay people and our 4-day program for advanced craniosacral therapy practitioners, this can be of a very great leverage. We've talked about economic cost in the US, but there's also economic cost in supporting the healthcare burden for senior populations, which are even more dramatic in many of these countries as well. So if we had a low-cost program to implement that, that would be very attractive. So the trainings that we've done so far outside the US include Canada, quite a number of advanced courses we've taught there, Italy, Ireland, and Russia. And I've probably been to Russia 4 or 5 times over the last 5 years, because what's interesting in a country like Russia is they don't really have a national healthcare system to support seniors. So the doctors there, when I teach a class there, it's mostly osteopaths and neurologists. So they're very open to our approach. It makes complete sense to them. There's no resistance to what we have to offer. They completely understand it. And they realize that one of their best options is to be able to treat their patients so they can do this at-home care that we've addressed. I've had people in Russia and doctors come all the way from Siberia to Moscow, which is a bit of a long, trek. This is thousands of miles, thousands and thousands of kilometers, so that they can actually implement this program in their local area. So they're also already, in a way, implementing what I've already said in the US, saying we can have a low-cost delivery program internationally as well. So it's very easy for us to implement these programs. We're looking now and touching base, especially with Japan and Spain, because of their aging population. And I'd like to give an invitation to anyone that's looking internationally. If you have a country or countries that might be interested in us delivering our program, either for trained craniosacral therapy professionals or layperson, please get in contact with us again at info@preventingalzheimers.com. We'd love to visit and also kind of accelerate, this impact internationally. So it's very exciting that we have the possibility, as we've developed programs here locally, to be able to spread that around the world to those 44 other million people that are affected by this disease. So thanks for listening for this. I'm very excited about this aspect of our program as well. And what's great about craniosacral therapy in our programs, it translates across platforms. across languages. We all have the same sacred human physiology, and craniosacral therapy seems to have an effect anywhere in the world. So thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon.